I write 30-second TV spots for a living, and there's not a whole lot you can say in one. But trying to sum up how many jobs have been lost in a 30-second TV spot and blaming Governor Strickland is just plain insane. Unfortunately, this is the way it's come to be. I could sit here and blame Greg Hunter for all kinds of things, because he's not here. There's no reason to have a debate. Doing it in 30 seconds, if I did it 30 seconds and wait for him to respond with his 30 seconds, it's pointless. It's called diplomacy. It's called debate. It's called having a discussion in public. It's what's sorely missing from our political system these days. 30-second TV spots should never influence you on how to vote. I'm not even sure that what goes out for most campaign literature should be used to decide on who to vote for. And sure, you can look at voting records and you can see, oh, they voted 50, 60, 70, 80% with their party, or this or that, or look at specific issues. That's not even a good indication of how to vote for somebody. Because what we've ended up with in this country is a two-party system. And the two parties, all they do is vilify each other and blame each other while the problems continue. At some point, we're going to have to say enough is enough. Now, I've heard a lot of people say, oh, the answer is term limits. But all that does is turn it into a revolving chair situation where you move from one position to another. Term limits don't work. The best term limits are elections. However, elections have become ridiculously expensive. It's estimated that the average congressional election costs $1 million. In the House, for a 2-year term that pays $175,000 a year, that makes no sense at all. And if you look at where the campaign money comes from and the size that it comes in, that's probably your first indication on who your congressman will work for. When you see $2,400, $2,400, $2,400, and they're all coming from the same family, the wife, the kids, the dog, Aunt Helen that they never see, you can be pretty sure that somebody's trying to buy influence with a congressman. And then the congressman has to do something to solve the problems for those people that got him there. And that's the root of our problems. 30-second television ads are very expensive to produce, very expensive to run, and when you get right down to it, they're not doing us any favors. A little bit of taking responsibility for the issues of maybe why jobs are leaving Ohio. Like, we seem to have an overabundance of local government that just seems to cost. It's a ton of overhead. And we've got so many people running this city that nobody's actually leading it. If Ohio started to tackle its real problems, the first thing it would do is say, we're going to have 88 municipal governments. They're going to be the counties. And then from the next step down, we're going to start eliminating school districts and get it down to something more manageable than the 600 or 800 that we have now. And then we're going to start taking a real look at duplication of services, which we seem to have a lot of. That's how we're going to solve problems and bring jobs back to Ohio, not by sitting there and blaming the governor for not doing enough for the company. And last but not least, we have to eliminate corporate welfare. I don't see any reason why the state of Ohio should have been in a bidding war to keep NCR here against the state of Georgia, and I don't understand why some poor girl working the checkout at a Piggly Wiggly, making minimum wage, is paying taxes so that the state of Georgia can bring NCR with their CEO that makes $2,000 an hour and their 1,200 jobs down to Georgia. It's wrong. We're taking money from the needy and giving it to the greedy. And it's not going to change until we have true campaign finance reform. We have ballot reform. In fact, just the way we go to have our elections needs to change. I'm a big proponent of instant runoff voting, where you get a list of candidates and you just vote and rank them. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, your top choices. And then we do a little bit of mathematical extrapolation. If enough people voted for the same person for number 1, they win. If not, the number 1 votes go to the number 2 selection until we got enough that they win, etc., etc. Look it up. It's great stuff. But the commercial that the Republicans put out blaming Ted Strickland for loss of jobs and being out of touch isn't the real, it's not Strickland that's the problem. It's the way we do things that's the problem. And as long as we keep electing people the same way, we're going to keep doing things the same way. And the definition, as we all know, of doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting a different result is called insanity. That's why I don't accept money from corporations, PACs, special interest groups. I've never had a donation larger than $500 in any of the races I've ever run. And I'd feel uncomfortable taking more than that. Now, I'm facing an opponent, or I'm hoping to face an opponent after Tuesday, who's well-financed, who has $500,000 already, is the incumbent, has name recognition, has the media saying nice things about him. But the reality is he's become a millionaire as he's been a public servant. And the way he's done it is pretty out there and open. I've caught him point blank. It's all there for people to see, but no, the media won't cover it because they like politicians who spend a lot of money on those 30-second ads, because that's what keeps them going. There's an election Tuesday for Ohio 3. You have 3 choices. I highly recommend you watch the 90-minute video I placed on YouTube of the candidates forum to help you make the decision. But remember, 30-second TV spots will never give you the answers. Look to their websites. Look for what they've written. Look for their positions. Look to see how well they communicate with you, because that's what a politician is supposed to be, an elected representative, someone who has your best interest at heart. And I guarantee you that's not coming to most of us without making big donations the way the system is played now. I'm David Esrati, and I hope to have your vote Tuesday. Thank you very much.